Well, Edward, I'm on Bernice Street off of West Ridge Road, where, as you can see behind me, police are continuing their investigation of the apparent murders of 2 men and a woman. Tomorrow morning, the National Weather Service, along with New York State Police, will be doing an aerial flyover to find out just how many times this tornado touched down and also to assess the path of the damage. Good evening, Rachel. I don't know if you can see behind me because it is dark, but it's just, this is what it looks like 24 hours later. The festival is now in its 8th year, and Edward, you look nice and dry back there in the 13 WETM studio.
I am nice and dry on it. You go
but
on
I
and
get to listen to jazz.
Yeah, exactly.
To people in the stands, this artificial turf looks like real grass. And for football players, it will feel like real earth because of the ground-up tire particles mixed in with it. Across the street, though, one lone protester represents the other side of the argument. A Christian leader we spoke with says there's a reason for that. This is a short, dead-end street, so neighbors say they're pretty close. They never expected Scott Burke would be violent towards his wife behind this front door, the way police described it. But we've looked across the mall, and we've only been able to find 2 help wanted signs, one of them here at Williams-Sonoma. Sam says this is reflective of what she's been hearing from store managers. One reason why farmers believe they should be exempt, they grow crops like this hay, which absorbs the greenhouse gases emitted by cow manure. Amanda Alexander was at home when she heard the storm approaching.
And all of a sudden it sounded like a train was coming through the house, but we live next to a train, so I didn't think much of it at first. But then when I looked out the front window, the front door, everything was blowing. I've never seen winds like this before, and stuff was flying by. So I went and shut the front door and grabbed my dog and headed for the basement.
10 minutes later, her neighborhood was turned upside down.
Almost all of the trees are down, so we lost all our trees. Everything in the backyard was destroyed. We have a screened-in porch that was destroyed. Everything inside the screened-in porch was destroyed. Windows were blown in.
Mickey Zangi lives just a couple of streets over from Alexander. Hers is a similar story.
We thought it was a loud train going by, and we thought it was like maybe a crash with the train, so we looked out our window and there was the tornado smack right in front of us, and everybody you could see scrambling and taking cover, running into the basements.
In all, emergency officials say close to 30 homes and small structures suffered mostly minor damage. A few homes, including a florist shop, lost their roofs. A greenhouse was leveled almost to the ground. But luckily, no one was hurt, thanks to quick response by emergency officials.
It's scary. It's scary. It's knowing that it was going to my neighbors and my neighboring towns. So I got on the radio and made sure we had warned the next town over that it was on its way.
The main thing was everybody checked with each other's neighbors to make sure that nobody was hurt, nobody was really bad hurt. And then looking around, like my house got a trampoline on it.
Tomorrow morning, the National Weather Service, along with New York State Police, will be doing an aerial flyover to find out just how many times this tornado touched down and also to assess the path of the damage. Reporting in the town of Corfu, Liss, 13 WETM News. More than 2,000 miles separate us from California, but many Rochesterians are protesting Proposition 8.
What do we want?
Lisa Hatch and her girlfriend Melissa learned via Facebook of this grassroots rally in front of the Monroe County office building, the same time as one in L.A.
We've only been together for 3 months, but we were engaged quickly, and now, the whole California thing kind of ruined that idea, so we're going to fight till we can get it.
Here in New York State.
Here in New York State. It should be recognized everywhere.
It's a right. Everybody has a right to do that. Marriage is for love, and if you can't get married, then what is it?
Even in the rain, the noisy crowd is taking over a full city block. Across the street, though, one lone protester represents the other side of the argument. A Christian leader we spoke with says there's a reason for that.
We're not going to go out and do all kinds of wild demonstrations like the homosexual community is doing. We're going to follow the law. Marriage is marriage. I don't care how long you demonstrate it. Marriage is between a man and a woman only. That is defined, first of all, from Scripture, by God, defined it, and all of society, all of our human culture has always had marriage the same way.
Dwayne Motley, a Christian rights lobbyist from Spencerport, is concerned that issues like this are keeping lawmakers from focusing on bigger problems, like the economy. But to couples like Lisa and Melissa, love is more important than money.
That's right, and it's ridiculous, it's not fair, it's not right. I mean, I love this girl, I should be able to get married to her.
In Rochester, Liss, 13 WETM News. You know it's not a typical Saturday when there's an Ontario County Sheriff's deputy directing traffic outside of Eastview Mall. People doing last-minute shopping were in for a nightmare.
Horrible! We have people who have been trying to leave since 2:30 this afternoon and they can't. We've been trying to leave since 4.
Things could be worse, especially if you parked your car while running on empty.
We just dropped off gas to our daughter who ran out of gas waiting in line here.
And we were trying to get to Eastview Mall from Henrietta, and we just ended up just turning off onto Guernsey Road because there was no way.
Friday's snow kept a lot of people indoors. That's why they came out in droves to the local malls. Traffic got so bad that people were dialing the 911 center to report it. So often, in fact, that the sheriff's office came out with this release asking them to stop. Inside the mall, traffic is just as heavy as it is outside, but because it's the holidays, spirits are high.
It's wonderful, and it always happens at this time of the year, and we're all supposed to keep a smile on our face, so.
I mean, what's it like?
It's pretty packed. The lines are long, but we're dealing with it. Fun spot.
It was extremely busy.
Yeah, extremely. Despite the bumper-to-bumper parking lot jams and the shoulder-to-shoulder hustle at the stores, it looks like local Christmas trees will have lots of boxes beneath them this week.
I think we're wrapped it up.
Yeah. We got Mommy done.
You're watching WETM 18 News Today with Liss.
He joins us with all the latest details. Stacy, is there any word yet on what may have caused this fire? Welcome back. Yet another twist to report this morning in the power struggle weighing down the New York State Senate. The Elmira man suspected in the stabbing death of a woman on the city's east side on Friday night is scheduled to appear before a judge this morning.
People are hoping to hear some good news. I know that yesterday's rains represented a change in the forecast.
Good, and we actually got an email from a viewer. Remember earlier we were talking about plantains?
Yeah, and the pollen report.
And the pollen report. Well, a woman named Kim Arnold from Big Flats emailed this morning, and she said that she did a little research about the many weeds growing in her yard, and she found out there are actually 2 different kinds of plantains that are common around here. Well, at least today's looking a lot nicer than yesterday.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, today is summer at its best, and it's been hard to find days like this.
Thank you, Joe. We'll look forward to that full forecast. Can I ask you, why Ernie, and what did you do to convey him, not just as a football player, but as a person? Back, everyone. We're outside the WETM TV studios. We're with registered dietitian Colleen Bucher. We're making some grilled eggplant sandwiches, right, Colleen?
Good stuff.
All kinds of vegetables in
grilled
this.
veggie sandwiches.
That's right.